Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Smiles on our faces today. Why? Because we finally picked up a win, and there are some fundamentals there, right, that we saw today from Chelsea. Not to say today was the perfect performance, it wasn't, and I'm going to illustrate all of that, but there was a couple of points that I saw that I've been waiting to see for so long, and we actually had it today. I'll get to that when I get into the Chelsea game itself. The games today across the spectrum, I actually got quite a few predictions correct. I got the Chelsea prediction correct, 2-1 win. I did say 2-1 Arsenal against Spurs, and it ended up being 3-1 because Spurs just bottled it even further. Arsenal, by the way, we have to take Arsenal seriously now. I never thought I'd see the day. I never thought I'd say this, but I have to be honest and I have to be real. Arsenal, for me, are definitely in some sort of title race now. 100%. You have to take them seriously. They are playing exquisite football. Exquisite. Defensively, offensively, everythingly. Brilliant. So there's that. Liverpool, I didn't think would struggle as much as they did. They did in the end, 3-3 to Brighton. Trossard with a hat-trick. So if that's an indicator for Chelsea to go in for a striker, maybe we get him. Although, have we got our striker situation sorted out? We'll get into that later. And across the board, 0-0 Bournemouth and Brentford. Fulham lost to Newcastle 4-1. Didn't expect it to be that bad, but anyway. Southampton losing to Frank Lampard's Everton 2-1. I did say Everton with a sneaky little win, and they did. And West Ham Wolves still to play later on. Chelsea, though, 2-1 winners. Before we get into that, though, I want to let you know this video is brought to you and sponsored by the OneFootball app. Make sure you download the OneFootball app for all of the latest to do with today's games, everything that's happened across the Premier League, all the scores, the results, the news, whatever. It's there in the OneFootball app. On top of that, one Italian Serie A game to watch streaming for free on the OneFootball app if you are based in the UK or Ireland. Make sure you check that out. Also, Italian Serie A match highlights available on the OneFootball app if you are based in the UK and Ireland for you to watch. So enjoy. Download it now. Link in the description and have fun. Let's get into this. Chelsea 2-1 winners away at Crystal Palace today. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2. And I have to say, when I first saw the lineup, I was like, okay, interesting. It's a back four. Interesting. Okay, that's something new. And the selection itself and the way that we set up was a little bit like, what? Because we initially started with a 4-2-3-1. I don't remember seeing a 4-2-3-1 in this Chelsea team since... I remember Frank Lampard doing it a couple of times. But prior to that, we didn't use it with Sarri. We were always a 4-3-3 with Sarri. We didn't use it with Conte. We were a back three with Conte. Jose, 4-2-3-1 was when we predominantly used a 4-2-3-1. And we started off with that. We had Ben Chilwell as left back, Reece James as right back, Silva and Fofana as the central defenders. On top of that, we had Jorginho and Kovacic as the two in the pivot. We had the three in front of Mason Mount, Kai Havertz and Sterling. And Aubameyang up top. Now, Aubameyang I forgot in my preview yesterday, and I shouldn't have. I put Broyo in the lineup. I forgot about Aubameyang. I'm talking about Aubameyang. We're going to come to him in a bit. But we started off this game, and it looked shaky. It looked like same old. It looked like exactly how we were playing before the international break. And I'm like, have we not? Okay, we've not changed. Nothing. Crystal Palace getting themselves a very early goal, and a very weak goal, should I say. Great goal for Crystal Palace, don't get me wrong. But the way that we conceded, the way that we were defending that, and you have to look at Fofana. Edouard should not have got in between those two defenders, but Fofana definitely did not look over his shoulder frequently enough to know who was actually there. And he could have been able to prevent that situation. He didn't. You could even say the same for Silva, but Edouard gets in between, great ball into the box. As I said, shouldn't happen, but it happened. 1-0 Crystal Palace. And I have to say, from this point, I was thinking, this is going to be a long afternoon. Because it's the same situation. We're struggling to defend. We can't really string too much going forward. But then, in the latter stages of the first half, things began to shift. Now, I have to be honest, and we have to talk about what happened in that first half when we're looking at Thiago Silva. Because there was the whole situation about the possible red card, but was Thiago Silva fouled? Look, should it have been a red card when Thiago Silva was down on the floor and patted the ball with his hand when it was a goal-scoring opportunity? Personally, I would look at that as an isolated incident and go, yes. But, let me be real. I thought prior to that, Thiago Silva was fouled. So there was nothing given for that. But then later on, it goes to VAR about the handball and the red card scenario, and they don't give it. So everything is wrong. Because personally, there should not have been a VAR in the first place. Thiago Silva should have got that free kick. But if we're taking that away, and let's say there wasn't a foul, and it goes to VAR, and Thiago Silva's hand, he smacked the ball with his hand, and it goes to VAR to see if he's prevented a goal scoring opportunity, which he did. How is a red card not being given there? So I'm not saying it should have been a red card, because I think he was fouled before that. That overpowers everything. But I'm just saying, if something goes to VAR and they see that and they actually don't make the correct decision, in my opinion, I mean, this goes to show you just how VAR is being used in this country. It's being used by a bunch of buffoons. As far as I'm concerned, they don't know what they're doing. But anyway, except for the Arsenal-Tottenham game, I thought that was absolutely spot on. But Thiago Silva, there was that in the first half. But then we started to attack more. We started to look a little bit more fluid. And I have to say, for a back four, I was a bit concerned that we would be overexposed. I thought we would be a little bit overpowered when trying to defend on transition. When Crystal Palace then have the chance to attack, we would be a little bit... We started to find our feet. We started to look a little bit more fluid, as I said. We started to link up better. And overall, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Then we got the goal, Aubameyang. And I have to say, this is one of two things in this review that I am so happy I'm finally seeing in this Chelsea team after so long. One of them being a striker that is able to understand his surroundings and put the ball in a place where no one expected him to put it, but he put it there anyway. Someone that is able to bring the ball down in the manner that he did, turn, and on the turn, smack it into the corner that no one was really expecting him to put into. That is a striker. So my one of 2 points that I really, really, really want to clarify that I'm happy with is a striker that is able to know exactly where the goal is. Finally, Aubameyang, are you going to help break this ridiculous, maybe non-existent, maybe existent, we don't know, curse? Is it finally going to disappear? Because with a goal like that, I'm very happy. Very, very happy. So you know what? One of the 2 points is that, which makes me happy despite the performance itself. The performance wasn't blockbuster. It was better. But we have to be playing much better in order to be serious if we're looking to start, getting a run of games and whatnot. But there's 2 points that make me happy with today. And that's one of them. A striker that is able to shoot and put the ball where it is. Fantastic. We move into the second half. And we had a bunch of substitutions later on in the game. Prior to that, it looked like we stagnated. We weren't really doing much. We weren't really, under threat. But we weren't doing much. Kind of flat. Kind of balanced everything out. And when we had the substitutions, we had Jorginho come off for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And I know there's a big conversation about Jorginho as to whether he should even be playing now. But with Kante still out, there's that. However, and I stress this, if we're now playing in a back four, I would like to see Zakaria. I would like to see him on the pitch now. Because if we're playing in a back four and we're actually going to have someone who's sitting, have a DM. Have a DM. Especially if we have midfielders that are able to go forward and actually start doing things seriously, which is going to lead me to my second point in today's video that I'm really happy about, then play Zakaria. He's just going to offer your defense protection. And if he can move the ball quickly, then boom, we don't really need a Jorginho who at times, yes, looked, oh wow, but at most times looked flat. It just seems like it's a waste of a player on the pitch. So there's that. But Loftus-Cheek came on, energy, knows Crystal Palace well, so there's that. And then we had a couple of changes which for me changed the game, right? We had Broja come on for Aubameyang, like for like, understandable. Aubameyang for me, decent game, got a great goal, was a little bit of a nuisance, happy days. That's all I want from my striker. Broja came on, cool. But when Gallagher came on for Kai Havertz, and Gallagher went into a position where Tuchel, to be fair, didn't even play him in. Tuchel played Gallagher deep. And remember when we were talking about Gallagher and I was saying he cannot play in a double pivot. He can't. Do not play him there. And when he was played there, we all saw why. He is not a pivot player. He's not a 6. He's technically not... Yes, he's an 8, but I would throw him even further forward. I would play him in behind the strikers. I would play him on the edge of the D. I would play him as a 10. That is where I think he should be playing. He came on today for Kai Havertz, who, again, look, great display against England, but whenever this guy now puts a Chelsea top on, he goes missing. And I understand Havertz today wasn't disastrous, but it was same old. It was same old, yo, Kai, where you at? Waiting for you to do something, please. What's going on? That is, he didn't make mistake. He just wasn't there. And it makes me worried. For Kai Havertz, it makes me worried because he can't keep that form up. The same goes for Mason Mount. We're going to come to him very, very shortly. But when Gallagher came on, you could sense there was a difference. Later on, Mount comes off, Pulisic comes on, and all of a sudden, in the space of 6 minutes, with Gallagher and with Pulisic on the pitch, all of a sudden, our attack begins to look lightning. And you know me, I give praise where praise is due. I give credit where credit is due. I've been on Pulisic's back a lot whilst he was under Thomas Tuchel for the times when he did play and we didn't see anything from him. But today, for the few minutes that we were on the pitch, best Pulisic I've seen in ages. And if he's going to be doing that, then boom, he's got himself a place in this team, as far as I'm concerned, and he's going to be able to really, really put his foothold. If he's able to start a clean slate, and Graham Potter is going to get the best out of him, then we've got ourselves a good player here. We all know Pulisic has talent. That's not the issue. We all were worried about what the hell's going on up here. Is this the best Pulisic we're ever going to get? Is he in his head? Does he not want to be here? Does he want to leave? We all had those questions. If he's going to perform under Graham Potter and he's going to be putting in performances like that where he has that much impact and he gets an assist in the space of 6 minutes whilst a Mason Mount, for example, in the space of 7 games hasn't even got one, and if I'm not mistaken, hasn't even got a goal or an assist since April. That's really, really worrying. And today, just like at the start of the season, when Gallagher was an option, remember ages ago, I did say, Gallagher and Mount will not play together. It's going to be a case where it's going to be either Mount or it's going to be Gallagher. Pick one. They can't play together unless you've got a DM like Prime Makalele, which we don't. But pick one. Because if you're going to play an attacking midfielder, you're not going to have both of them, you're going to have one. Gallagher today came on and was exactly what we've been looking for in that role for ages. And it leads me to point number 2 of my 2 points that makes me very happy today. A midfielder that can shoot. Oh my God. Finally, a midfielder that can actually put it top bins, just like Lamps used to. And we all know Gallagher had that in his locker, but we saw where he was playing, especially under Tuchel, and where he was being used, and it just did not look good. And then we started to actually think, I personally was thinking, you know what, under Tuchel, with the way that we play, is there actually a space for Gallagher to be used to his potential? Do we have a way to fit him into the way that we play our football? With a complete change of system, like Graham Potter's implemented today, yes, there is a role for Gallagher. If we're going to be playing a 4-2-3-1, which is a formation none of us have said in a very long time, or even a 4-2-3-1 changed into a 4-3-3, right? I understand that can happen. But if you have someone tucked in behind that front line on the edge of the D as an attacking midfielder, that's Gallagher. Under a Thomas Tuchel in a 3-4-3, that role doesn't exist. Even in a 3-5-2, sometimes you can struggle to get that. But under Tuchel, it just wasn't happening. Under Potter, like this, he's got a position. And he came on today and looked comfortable. He looked at home, especially against his old team, Crystal Palace. And fair play to Gallagher. When he got that pass from Pulisic, and Pulisic's assist, by the way, in order for him to twine in between those two players, really in that tight space, managed to get the ball to Gallagher. Gallagher, with a little bit of skill to get past his marker, creates a bit of space for himself, darts it into the top corner. Beautiful. We've been waiting for that. And I have to be honest, that is what we've been waiting for from Mason Mount, and we've not been getting it for ages. What Gallagher did today is what we've wanted Mount to do for months and months and months, and we're waiting and it's not coming. Gallagher comes on and does it immediately. Now, I'm not going to say, that means Gallagher is the best thing since Frank Lampard. No, he needs to prove himself even more. But this is the best we can ask for in the time that he's been given under Graham Potter. Simple. Next game, keep it up. AC Milan, keep it up. Keep it up. That's what I want. So, there's that. Point number 2, a midfielder that can have impact on the D, in behind the striker, and actually know how to shoot from distance. Fantastic. And it got us 3 points. Happy days. It's crazy. To see those two factors makes me very happy today. And there needs to be a conversation about Mount, about Havertz. Some would say even Jorginho. But some of the options that we managed to bring on today, and we managed to see, helped us a lot. And Gallagher, fair play to the kid, came on and done exactly what was needed in that role, gave us a winner, a fantastic winner, and we've got ourselves 3 points. We're now sitting 5th in the table. Happy days. Let's hope we can keep that up. We need to rack up some form, and next is going to be AC Milan, where we're really going to get tested. So let's see what happens there. But let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear everything you had to say about today. And how do you feel about Graham Potter's first win as Chelsea manager? Personally, I'm very happy for him. I thought overall he managed the game well. And we got what we needed. Some would say Crystal Palace will be hard done by. I understand that. Overall, though, Chelsea went out there, especially in that second half, and done what was needed to be done. Simple. So fair play to the lad who managed to come on, have the impact. And just like I've said for Gallagher, same goes for Pulisic. If now they're able to really show Graham Potter why they need to be in the starting lineup, they need to remain there. That's it. You have something good going, don't wreck it. Mount needs to be benched. Havertz needs to be benched. Simple. If I'm going into the AC Milan game, I'll give you my preview the day before, but I'm looking now at potentially starting Pulisic, starting Gallagher, starting Sterling, and starting Aubameyang. That could be the 4. The 3 and the 1 up top. It could be. Let's wait and see what happens. Let me know what you think about that. I'd love to hear it. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to download the OneFootball app. Link in the description. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification button to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. I'll see you tomorrow for a brand new one. In a bit, people. See you then. Take care. And peace.